Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the YouTube station identification of one of New Bedford, Massachusetts resident YouTubers, Mr. Eric Lima over here. You are watching WEML-TV, Channel 77, episode number 30, January 19, 2021. We are 59 days away till spring. Hallelujah. I hate winter. I really, really do. Although this winter has not been bad so far. It has not been bad so far, but because with the pandemic going on and everything else, it's been roller coaster. You feel like you bumpy rides. You feel like driving one down the cobble streets in Union Street down in New Bedford. Or driving through. My friend Jordan Piva had had a video of him driving through down Kings Highway. All that good stuff. So we have some bumpy roads over the winter, but you know what? We're ready to go in full force. And like I said, I think I gave you the weather report because it's only another storm-free week. This week is next week, Monday into Tuesday. It's a little bit of a concern, but like I said, 1 to 3 inches of snow is no big deal. If they had me shovel it, and it's a scrape off. Give me the broom. Let me sweep. We'll be fine. But I probably won't be doing that much shoveling because a lot of things are happening. In fact, at the mall, I forgot to tell you this, there will be a supermarket coming soon to the mall for the very first time in a long time. This mall's been around for 50 years, okay? The Dartmouth Mall's been around for 50 years. And believe it or not, we never had a grocery store or a supermarket of some kind. This will be the first time ever. That's the very reason why this mall's been successful, because it's been around for a long time, because it's been innovative, bringing new things in, bringing new customers in and all that. And despite the fact that some of our stores are not doing well, and obviously because the time change, the schedule change, it's amazing about how many people still think the mall opens up at 10. It's 11 people. We open up at 11, and from Monday to Thursday, we close at 7. Fridays and Saturdays, we close at 8. Sundays, we close at 6. If you can get all that, it'd be great. And don't come by asking me what time the mall opens, man. I'll be like, that'll be one of the things. If I ever leave that mall, quit my job, or heaven forbid, get the pink slip and all that, or if it ends up shutting down and we all have to look for jobs, that's one of the things I will not miss. Is people asking me, what time is the mall open? What time is the mall open? I'm like, you try to hold it in, try to be as professional as you can. 11. That's what I try. But the inside of me goes, it's 11. Doy. Hello, McFly. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like you just made the list, pal. You know what I'm saying? It's just you just made the list. It was, it's like, good Lord. And here's the crazy part. People are waving at me while they drive by. Why are they waving at me to drive by? I mean, I'm letting them go. It's not like I'm not letting them go. They're the ones that have the right of way. I'm just cleaning up. They're all white. And I'm like, oh, hi. I don't know if they know it. They won't know me. I don't know if they see me. Oh, we saw you working at the mall. And crazy, loud, neon green coat that you see back there. That's my safety coat. That's my work coat. Here's the fun part. Since I bought it with my own money, that means if I heaven forbid, if I get the pink slip or the mall closes or I decide to quit the job and find something else, that coat's coming with me because it's my own coat. I can wear that coat any job I want. That'd be really cool. Wear that coat any job I want. It's like, oh, you work. Yeah, duh. It's my work coat. So, say the least, that is funny. As you can see, I don't know if you guys noticed the other day, I got a haircut. This past week I got a haircut. And the Clooney is back. I call it the Clooney. Now, people want to know what's up with that. Why you call it the Clooney? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story if you guys don't mind, all right? Now, when it comes to hairstyles and styling nowadays, you want to you want to do what's in or what impresses the ladies. As you know, some of the ladies in the early 90s dug Jason Priestley and Luke Perry because they had the sideburns. So I tried doing the sideburn thing, right, to impress some girls. Since that didn't work out, So I said, okay, I'm going to shave them off because the school that I went to, very strict about facial hair and all that. So sideburns count as facial hair. So they made me shave them off. So okay, no big deal. Plus, they didn't look good on me back then. The next time, and I didn't grow them again until the next time when The Rock was very popular in the World Wrestling in the then World Wrestling Federation back in 1998-99. I will never forget. I have a memory of this, and I will never forget this. All of us Ruby Tuesday, I think it was Halloween of '98, we're all dressed up and in our costumes and all. And I decided, well, since my costume is closer to my uniform, I figured, well, I'm going to dress myself as The Rock because he wore like a cool T-shirt, black T-shirt, and black jeans and all that. And so the only accessory I had was the Intercontinental title. I had the toy version of the title. And one time I was taking out trash, and I forgot to leave the door unlocked behind me outside in the service court number 4. This was when we had Ruby Tuesday. So I decided, well, I'm going to... I decided I want to go around and go back in the front. As I go around in front, some kid comes up to me and asked me if I was Hulk Hogan. And I said, no. I was going to do the Rock character on, but I didn't want to offend the poor kid and then get in trouble for it. I said, no, I'm the Rock. Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, see ya. Some kid comes up to me, you Hulk Hogan? No, I'm the Rock. I would have done the whole Rock thing. Do I look like that jabroni Hulk Hogan to you? Well, the Rock can beat Hulk Hogan any day of the week. The Rock says Hulk Hogan is the biggest jabroni piece of Rudy Poo trailer park trash in the wrestling and sports entertainment history if you smell what the Rock is cooking. Raised the right eyebrow and all. So that's why I brought the sideburns back. They had these, especially in '99, he had these lamb chop sideburns. All your Mickey Mouse tattoos and your 33-pound insulting Undertaker and all that had these big old lamb chops back in the day. So I grew them. When I started growing them, every time I was like Wolverine of the X-Men, because that was a cool thing when Hugh Jackman, or as the prince from the second, it was the second or third movie of Night at the Museum, Hugh Jackman. What? Anyways, so I grew them back then because I want to look like The Rock. I was a big fan of The Rock, so I shaved them off again. And then during the early '90s, when I worked at Ruby Tuesday, all the chicks dug George Clooney. George Clooney was like the hot guy of the '90s. So I figured, if I want to get a haircut, we used to have a place, a barbershop place called Master Cuts, and so at the mall. So I always requested the hair that looked like the Caesar cut, as it was originally called. But I call it the Clooney. So I wanted to look like George Clooney. So I had that, and I thought it would look cool. And I thought the chicks would dig that. The girls I worked with kind of liked it, and so I was like, okay, I'll keep with it. Just to be cool with it. It didn't get me anywhere, but as far as romantically and everything else is concerned, but that's okay. I just, I thought I looked presentable and looked cool, and so I figured I decided to get a haircut, and then over at Great Clips, and my barber, she did a good job helping me bring the Clooney back. Bringing Clooney back. Lame. Ignore my singing. Ignore that part. Jeez. Let's get right into what I'm supposed to talk about, huh? Sheepers, man. Epa over here. All right. Let's go to the Raw roundup of January 18, 2021 from last night. Randy Orton kicked it off, addressing last week's events, and 3 weeks ago, and he was wearing a mask, and he looked almost like a luchador, because Alexa Bliss almost burnt his face off. So, and he's still going to go into the Royal Rumble. He's probably wearing that mask, so I wouldn't be surprised. Ric Flair and Lacey Evans were interviewed by Charlie Caruso as they were heading to the ring, and for Charlotte Flair to go one-on-one with Peyton Royce, and Lacey Evans said she wants to learn from the dirtiest player he gave. I think Lacey Evans is from South Carolina, so you talk about a Carolina connection between Flair and Evans. But it's always in sense Charlotte Flair. And Peyton Royce, they went at it, and Ric Flair arrived. Lacey Evans was wearing one of the Ric Flair's robes, trying to incense trying to play some mind games against Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair, despite all that, won the matchup and almost refused to let go of the figure 8. I don't know if Peyton Royce will be well enough to go to the Royal Rumble. We are about 12 days away from that, a week from this Sunday. So Matt Riddle was confronting the Hurt Business, and I think he wants to shot at Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby Lashley comes over and actually stomps on Matt Riddle's left foot, and then Matt Riddle, and as you can see, it was a definite miss. I think the cameraman forgot to pan in a little bit. Completely missed, and then Matt Riddle like, So, and talking about the Lucha House Party in a 6-man tag against the Hurt Business ready to go. And he says he'll be ready to go when he tapes it up. Xavier Woods went one-on-one with Mace, second match of the night. Come to find out that Mustafa Ali is still holding a grudge against Kofi Kingston for taking his spot heading into WrestleMania 2 years ago. This is stemming from 2 years ago. It's like Ali, I felt like saying, Ali, let it go, man. Kofi did his thing. He lost his title to Lesnar. Because that would have been your situation too. You would have had the title and you would have lost it to Lesnar. Trust me on that one. And he says he hopes that, Kofi's not well enough to go to WrestleMania. So we'll find out. Because Kofi suffered a broken jaw at the hands of the Hurt Business. Sarah Schreiber was interviewing Asuka about her interaction with Alexa Bliss and Alexa's Playground. Well, Asuka was like, no, I'm not worried. We'll see what happens. And then WrestleMania was advertised by, if you saw the video, it was pretty funny, Triple H with a ridiculous haircut and more of a ridiculous name, Henry E. Pankey. Stephanie McMahon, looking good. Looking like an actual news reporter, but her name was Anita Real Man. Oh, boy. And then you got Haley Mary as Sasha Banks. Sonny McLeod was supposed to be Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns says, I'm not going to bring you the weather. We're going to tell you, we're going to be at WrestleMania. And then John Cena's Hugh Can't See Me, which is hilarious. I'll talk about WrestleMania. So WrestleMania will be taking place in Tampa Bay this year. Next year it will be in Dallas and in Hollywood a year after that. So WrestleMania has been booked for 3 cities already. That is awesome. Then Alexa's Playground addressed, Alexa Bliss came out and addressed what happened to Randy Orton, and then brought out Asuka as a guest, as Asuka's facing her in a non-title matchup. And Alexa decided to declare entry into the Royal Rumble. And, Asuka was pretty excited for her. She's trying to be positive and happy. She was trying to sit on the swing, but then just don't sit there. He sits there. And then all of a sudden, Asuka says, the Fiend will be here, will be with you. Alexa gets upset, and then all of a sudden Asuka says, yowie, wowie, and so it ticked off Alexa Bliss so much, even the rocking chair was going, the rocking horse there, so they're going rocking by itself. Kind of creeped out Asuka, so it was like, Bizarre City, hello. And so Sarah Schreiber was interviewing Miz and Morrison about Goldberg on the dirt sheet. This ought to be fun. And then they had the matchup Mandy Rose versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler wins again. Baszler wins again with the Karafuda clutch. And then Shayna Baszler cut a promo for the Royal Rumble. Nia Jax was not very happy about it. So the two were arguing, and then Dana Brooke drop-kicked Shayna Baszler into Nia Jax while they were arguing after the match. And Mandy Rose bailed out before more damage was done. And they were still arguing in the back. Charlie Caruso interviews them and everything else in between. And then Shayna Baszler thinks that, well, Charlotte and Asuka got their problems. We're getting the belts back. And they do get along. Charlotte and Asuka. Is that they have their own separate issues to deal with. Ricochet talked to Adam Pearce about getting a shot into the Royal Rumble. And then AJ Styles interrupts him. And then AJ Styles talks to Pearce. He says, if I don't like you, Omos doesn't like you. So they had a matchup against Ricochet versus AJ Styles. It was a highly great contested matchup. But in the end, it was Ricochet trying to slingshot himself up. It was almost like a suplex into the Styles clash. Into 1, 2, 3, Styles wins the match. As AJ Styles prepares himself for his 5th for another Royal Rumble appearance in his 5th year with the WWE. The dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison, um, we all thought Goldberg was going to come out, but no, it was Gilbert. Gilbert's back. Everybody say, we'll rather watch Gilbert. Well, guess what? You guys got your wish. Gilbert. I'm like, oh, God. Do they want to get beat up by Goldberg? And then they had a faux Drew McIntyre, or everybody's asking, is that Drew McInfart? That appears too soon, man. Too soon. It was too funny. Shotzi Blackheart's like, is that Drew McInfart? We'll call him Drew McInfart. No, the fake Drew McIntyre. And I'm like, those two clowns are going to get the heck beaten out of them by Goldberg and McIntyre. Goldberg and McIntyre. And all of a sudden, and I think the Miz and Morrison are trying to send a message to Goldberg and McIntyre that the Miz plans on cashing his money in the bank and winning that title. I tell you what, good luck with that, Miz. Good, because you already incensed Goldberg and Drew McIntyre. You're going to end up in a stretcher, son. Let me tell you. Then the 6-man tag, the Hurt Business versus Matt Riddle and Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party's got a humongous matchup. I think this Wednesday as they face Imperium in the Dusty Cup. So they got that going. The Hurt Business has a little dissension between Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. I think Cedric Alexander, since joining the Hurt Business, got a little too big for his britches. I think he needs to tone it down with the ego. And that's probably what's almost cost them the match. So in the end, though, the Hurt Business won because Bobby Lashley solved everyone's problem. I'm going to finish off the match for us. So I think Cedric Alexander needs to calm that ego down a little bit. MVP and Shelton Benjamin need to talk to that boy. Let me tell you. And Lashley, too. And an MVP, you got to realize you create that monster. You better learn how to channel that energy in. And then Drew McIntyre in his second week, Elias talks to Jackson Weicker about his match against Jeff Hardy. And Jackson Weicker says, don't get involved. I can do this. So Drew McIntyre did address Miz and Morrison and Goldberg during his second week of quarantine. He says he'll be back this coming Monday on Raw before the Royal Rumble. And before the Royal Rumble. And that's what we have here. And and Goldberg's going to be there too. So it's going to be very interesting this Monday before the Royal Rumble, if he's cleared enough to go. Then Jeff Hardy went one-on-one with Jackson Ryker. It was a highly good contest until Elias got involved but was caught by the referee, the DQ. He says, I told you not to interfere match. I thought you told me not to, and told me again. It's like it was all a miscommunication between the two. Got to ease it up, guys, man. It's a lot of bizarre world. And then Asuka and Alexa Bliss was the main event of the evening and of Monday Night Raw. And during the match, the lights went out into a commercial break, and Alexa Bliss then came back transformed with black lipstick and all. I was like, oh boy, this goes into her darker side, and then ends up winning the match. And then Asuka's trying to kick her and everything else. Alexa Bliss is like blocking it, no pain, and then finally, she gets Asuka into the Sister Abigail 1, 2, 3, and then she says in the Fiend's voice, "Let me in." So the Fiend kind of possessed Alexa Bliss, I think it seems like. So I don't think we'll see the actual Fiend anytime soon. But as long as he's possessed Alexa Bliss, it's going to be a problem in the women's division. I'm going to tell you that much. Not even Nia Jax herself is going to get to her former friend. That's how mean this new Alexa Bliss is. A little dangerous that young lady's going to be. So, going to be a little crazy in wrestling. The Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania will begin soon. Be very interested to see what happens. And so for the men and women's Royal Rumble, I don't know who's going to be in it. Surprise entrance and all that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. So that's all the time we have here on this show. Episode 30 of WEML-TV Channel 77. We are going to be tomorrow night NXT, 2 dusty matches for sure. What else is going to happen? Let me Let me check this thing. Let me check this thing. Uh, let me check this thing. Let me check this thing. I know there's two. Oh yeah, we have Timothy Thatcher and Maso Ciampa in a fight pit match. That's gonna be a heck of a matchup. NXT, 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 and NXT, 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 NXT. Trying to find out what's going on around here. NXT. Let's try and find out what's going on in NXT. 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 Filtered by most recent. All WWE NXT takeovers. Let's see. NXT. Oh no, I can sign in. Okay. Shows. Okay. Royal Rumble, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Alright. Okay. Let's see if I can find anything. Hold on just a second, folks. Alright, yeah, the Women's Dusty Cup will be starting. I forgot about that. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. I call them Team KC Squared. Go up against the a veteran team of Tony Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Kushida and Ruff in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic go up against the Ways, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. And so that was it so far. And it was another matchup, Imperium versus Lucha House Party as well. Will be but Xia Li keeps on getting that winning streak going. We see another her in another matchup. Will she issue that challenge to Io Shirai? But here's the interesting situation about that Dusty Cup Classic women's tag team matchup. Also, the women's matches will be happening on 205 Live, so it'll be a treat. The ladies will take center stage on 205 Live for the very first time, so I'm looking forward to that. Going back to the Casey Catanzaro, Kane Carter versus Storm and Martinez matchup, both Tony Storm and Mercedes Martinez want Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship. Will this be a partnership that goes all the way without letting the NXT Women's Championship come between them? Because Io Shirai can easily take advantage of that situation real quick. So this will be very interesting to say the least of what's going to happen. And will the winner get a women's tag team title shot? And if that's the case, it'll be very interesting to see who would face Charlotte Flair and Asuka. And when that match would happen, I like to see that match happen at WrestleMania. The winner of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic would take on the Women's Tag Team Champions at WrestleMania. That would be a huge opportunity for NXT, I'm telling you right now. NXT should deserve this opportunity to be part of WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley did it. It was the first time the NXT Championship was on the line at WrestleMania last year as Rhea Ripley took on Charlotte Flair, with Charlotte Flair winning. So anything is possible in this case, and I like to see that happen. You know, with the pandemic though, it's going to be a little rough unless if they're doing it at Raymond James Stadium, it would be very interesting to see how they go about it. And I think unless Joe Biden, when he comes in and puts the kibosh on everything, which I hope not. We want to see wrestling. We want to see entertainment. That's what we want, and that's what we want the most. And we'll be see very unhappy people if we don't. So we'll see what happens. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you on the next episode. Episode 31, man. Peace and love and smiles, man. Be blessed.